Hey guys, it's Shanice G, and we are back for episode number 2 of season 2 of The Voice from the Village. I am super excited to be back and be here with you guys, and now face to face with this YouTube channel, but still available on my audio channels, Anchor, iTunes, Google Play, Overcast, Radio Public. Just search for the Voice from the Village, and you should be able to tune into the first episode of this season, as well as all the episodes from the first season. So if you're interested, go and listen to the first season and let me know what you think. I always invite you guys to comment, to call in, to give me advice, or just share your own experience so we can all vibe together and just really make a strong community of parents and role models for our innocent little babes that are going to be running this world eventually. This month we decided that, we're all one and the same here, at least, decided that this month, because where I am from, Massachusetts in the US, generally most of our kids go back to school in September. So I decided to dedicate this month's podcast to anything related to school, going back to school, all that. If you guys follow my Facebook page or my Instagram page, I did throw out the question of what type of topics people would be interested in talking about for this week, which I will do from time to time, to really get you guys involved and hear about things that I know you want to talk about, instead of it always just being something that I looked up or something that I'm going through, anything. So a friend of mine did, which I think is a really good first school topic, commented, Madeline, she said, how about getting your kids back into the zone of homework? And I thought that was a really good starting point. I just wanted to expand it a little bit, like just being back in the zone of being back to school, which is kind of major, especially for the kids where, they're going 2-3 months with no school, and even though, if we're being honest, everybody comes home with their summer schoolwork, and I did it as a kid. You wait till last minute to finish it. So it's not like, kudos to the parent. I know there are parents out there that make sure even throughout the summer their kids were involved in, educational things, so they're not either falling behind or it's such a shock of going back to school. But, realistically, there are, regular old parents out here that still had to work throughout the summer, and if you're like me, had your child go either to camp or visit family throughout the summer to help out with babysitting, because you still had a full-time job to show up to. And I actually just started a new job about 5 months ago, so my schedule is a little crazy and runs a little later in the night, so I definitely needed a place for Layla to go during the summer, so I didn't have to worry about who's picking her up, what time, money, things like that. So that worked out for me, but I obviously did have to get Layla back on track when she did come home, to get back in the mode of, alright, this is school time, we're not staying up super late anymore, no technology before bed, things like that. But so I'm gonna share a little bit of how I think is a good idea to get your kids back into school, or back in the zone of, the school mode, and you guys let me know what you think. Call in, comment, let me know. But either way, so I would say the major thing that I try to do to start transitioning into school time is bedtime. because obviously during the summer she doesn't have school. I allow her to stay up a little later, not like crazy late, but she's about to be 9, so I have her bedtime at 8:30, which, I mean, if your kid's like mine, 8:30 doesn't necessarily mean they went to sleep at 8:30. That's just what time I told her to lay down, and maybe an hour or so later is when she might fall asleep. But just getting her into that mind frame of, okay, it's time to relax now, you know, about a half hour before, clean up your room, get PJs on, brush your teeth, and then transition into going or laying down, going to sleep. Because at least this year, she has to be up even earlier for school to either catch the bus, or at the moment I am carpooling to work, which I now work about 45 minutes from home, and I carpool with my sister, who goes to work even earlier than I go to work. So everybody's up way earlier than normal than last year. So getting to bed on time, or at least at a decent time, is super important. So she's not super grumpy and has enough rest to be able to focus on the lessons, which she can be kind of spacey, and so she needs that. She needs her rest. She needs to be able to not be dragging first thing in the morning because she went to bed super late. Next thing would be basically to get back into the routine. If you guys are listeners from first season, you will know that I actually did a podcast related to kind of like making a routine and how to go about it, and there is a photo of it still on my Facebook page. I will post today to the Instagram page that same photo of just like an outline, nothing crazy, not super creative. I think it's creative enough, but of basically a routine that I had created for my daughter for before school and for after school, where she could reference right on her wall, big and clear, of the things that she needed to do to either get ready for school or prepare herself essentially for the next day, including eating dinner. She has the chore of doing the dishes, so washing dishes, getting PJ's outfit out for tomorrow, homework, all that jazz. So I will reshare that on the Facebook page, and then I will also post that to my Instagram page for anybody that is interested in seeing how I created a routine for my child. And I also created my own separate routine for myself, to just make sure that I'm checking off my own list and feeling fully prepared and giving myself adequate time to go to sleep, be fully rested, so I can be on the same track and be prepared for my next day too. Because it goes a long way, and it also shows my daughter, by leading by example, that I'm doing the same thing, and I'm not just handing out commands for you to follow, I'm doing the same thing. I honestly have lost track of that throughout the summer, just obviously not having my daughter for that amount of time. I had more freedom. It wasn't as pressing for me to follow any type of routine, so we're now about 4 weeks or 3 or 4 weeks in for Layla being back to school, so I'm still getting used to trying to get back on track with this routine. So I'll tell you guys a billion times, I am a work in progress. I am not perfect. Not everything that I spew out here is something that I'm actually following. These sometimes are things that I want to and I'm working towards, and I am essentially letting you know what my progress is, what things I'm trying that work for me, things tried that didn't work for me, or things that my own procrastinating personality are, you know, putting off. And I'm just trying to be better, but I'm still human at the end of the day, so things happen. But yeah, so we said, going back into early bedtime, getting back into a designated routine where both of you know what you need to do, when you need to accomplish it, by when you need to leave the house, or by what time you are going to bed. Those are really important tips, I think. My next one about getting back in the zone, back into the school zone, is being involved with your kids doing homework. Layla, so I have Mondays and Wednesdays off now, so Mondays and Wednesdays are when I really can be involved in, like, helping with her homework and making sure it's correct and that she understands or has questions and everything. But I know I am guilty of doing it sometimes, especially last year, where I won't, check her work. I will just, like, make sure the pages are filled out, but I won't check her work. I won't really be involved. Or just be like, did you do your homework? And that's it. I mean, I trust her enough and know that she does do it. Otherwise, I'm sure I would have received some type of notice from her teacher if she wasn't doing her work. But my goal for this year is to be way more hands-on with that and not leaving it up to, so on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, she goes to our after-school program where they do help with homework and everything. But even then, to be more involved, checking, her folder and just showing her that I'm not, letting her, get away with anything. Get away with either not doing her work well, not doing it neatly, rushing, guessing. She's a fan of guessing. But I know she's super smart and I know she knows the work. So, being patient, I would also say, is a good tip, because if your kid's anything like mine, homework time, so getting into the zone of homework time, can be very difficult, especially when she tends to try to guess to just get through it so she can go play. And knowing that I have a super short temper, I just need to work on being super patient and understand that she really might not know what is going on, or didn't fully understand the lesson when it was taught or something like that, and being more patient, calm, checking myself when I'm, starting to get worked up, is really important, to just let them know that, not all of the work that you're presented with is going to be easy. You're not always going to understand it. But if you are comfortable enough to ask questions from either your peers, your parents, your teachers, or role models in your life, that you're going to get through it and you're going to do just fine in school. She really likes school, so she hasn't really ever had an issue with any particular subject. Reading and math, she was a little bit behind, but her school is so awesome. They were on the ball about getting her help, and I didn't even have to ask for it. They do these evaluations a couple times a year to see where the kids are at, and if the teachers or the school itself, the evaluators, feel like your child needs more help, they're really proactive of getting it done. I have definitely seen parents venting about schools where they're finding out, like, their kid needs help by the end of the year, or their kid might have to stay back, and all that's coming to them by the end of the year, and that's not fair. Like, there should be multiple times where our kids are being evaluated to make sure that they're on the same wavelength of everybody else and getting the help as soon as possible, so they don't need to stay back. They can progress normally, and, not feel insecure or not feel like they're smart enough, good enough, anything like that. So, it's just really important for us parents to be involved, and if you have any inkling about the level that your child, or I guess inkling's not the right word, but basically, if you have any feeling or doubt that your children are on the level that they should be, speak up ASAP and get your teachers involved, whoever's your point of contact at the school, as soon as possible, so you can make sure your kids are good. Trying to think. Sometimes, guys, I wing it, like today. I just, off the top of my head, just come down and sit with you guys and talk about things. I'll have the topic, but I'll just talk about what I think about it. Other times, you might see me looking down a lot, or to the side or something for notes that I might create, especially when I find like articles or books that I might read where I'm really referencing things that somebody else wrote, or I heard a video I watched or something like that. But other than that, it's just me sitting down, talking to y'all like you're my diary. And I just hoping it's helpful. So we have basically 4 tips. Early bedtime, start ahead of time. So, I mean, I picked up Layla about 2 days, so the weekend before she was to start school, so that was the earliest I could start early bedtime. But if your kids are home, I would say maybe like a week or two before school starts. Just get them back into that routine. Have your routine on the board, on the wall, something so they can see it too, and just have them start doing that so they're into the swing of it and it's not that difficult for them when school really does start. So early bedtime, back in routine, hands-on with homework, being patient, all of those super important of getting back into the school zone. Yeah, I'm gonna say those are my tips for you guys today. I can't really think of much more that I personally do. Oh, actually, what I did want to share with you guys are some things that I seen that some of my parents that I'm friends with on Facebook have done, which I think are really cool, that I'm interested in trying. Some have, and I've actually seen this on Pinterest too, basically you have one of those like plastic bins that have the 4 or 5 drawers where you put their clothes in each drawer, so you literally have the entire week of clothes picked out for them, which I think is a really cool idea, especially for the kids that go to public school and they wear a different outfit every day. So, you know, they have their undergarments, socks, pants, shirt, everything ready to go. They don't have to search for anything. They're not running around like a chicken with their head cut off talking about, I can't find my socks, I can't find my shoes. And it seems like that would make it way smoother to your morning routine, so you can actually like probably almost minute by minute schedule out how your morning should develop and cut down the amount of time that it takes for you guys to get ready, and less likely for y'all to run into being late, running out of the door because, you know, nobody could find their things to be ready for the day. So I think that's really cool. Layla wears uniforms to school, so usually I just have her uniform out the day before, and maybe just switch up. She has like shorts, pants, a skirt or something like that, so I might just switch up, you know, the bottoms and the shirt or whatever, but that's usually out the night before. But essentially I could do, you know, at least for, you know, the week, mix it up and have at least her underwear and socks and whatnot out for her, so that's one less thing to worry about. Another thing that I saw that was really cool was parents making these basically like snack kits where you would break up, like each snack would be in a different bin and your child essentially is able to select. select which snack that they want, either for the day, however you organize it, for the day, for school, for after school. I think that's really cool, especially the ones that I've seen on Pinterest, where they'll actually have a little like sticker or a postcard or something saying like how many of that particular item the child could choose. If it was like a dry snack, which, you know, was probably more sugary or something like that, you get one. A fruit and a veggie, you'd get two. Like, something to be balanced, as well give them more freedom of choosing their own snacks and knowing what they have available for them, which I think is really, really cool. A really cool aspect that can tie into school time, because we know our kids, they love snacks and they need organization. So those two things I think are really cool, and I am interested in trying those out too. I just need to get the materials as far as the snack thing goes, like the bin and whatnot. And yeah, those are the two really cool things that I've seen that would maybe help someone else out. For those parents, if you guys are listeners of mine, let me know how that's going, what got you started on doing it, and you know, what you think about it. If you continue to do it and recommend it for everybody else, what's your system as far as breaking down, if you're doing like that snack thing, what's your system as far as how you allow them to decide, or anything like that. I would love, love, love to hear from you. I'd love to hear from all of you about the tips that I had, or what your routines are, what you did to get your child back into the zone, back into the homework zone, what you guys do to really keep your kids engaged and enjoying school for the most part. Not every kid likes school. It's all good, but what you do to do your best to at least keep them where they need to be to progress through school. You guys know where to reach me. Right on this YouTube channel, comment for me, on my Instagram, on my Facebook page, all at The Voice from the Village. You can also email me at thevoicefromthevillage@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from all of you about what you think. Also, what any other topics you want to hear about. You know, we need participation to make this the best global discussion that it can be. So I'm excited to see you guys next week. We will figure out along this week what our next school subject is going to be about. But can't wait. Hope you guys enjoy this week. Happy Monday. Make every day count. Alrighty. This has been Shanice G. Been listening to The Voice from the Village, and we will be back next Monday. Alrighty. See you guys.